Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to you guys. My name is Muhammad Zad Hafifi. Today I'm gonna explain to you guys about surface area of a common solid. So, what is a surface area? Well, surface area is the sum of all unit squares that fit on the exterior of a solid. In other words, surface area is the total area that the surface of an object occupies. And let's move on to our first common solid, which is general prism. Well, this is the most simple figure of all solid because this prism is a rectangular solid. This makes calculating the areas of these surfaces very easy to do. As the picture shown, there are 6 surfaces. There is top, front, left, bottom, back, and right. So how to calculate it? It's easy. Length times with width times 2, because we got 2 surfaces at the top and the bottom. So for the front and back, height times length times 2, because we got 2 surfaces again, front and back. And for the left and right, formula is height times width times 2 again, because we got 2 surfaces, and that's why we simplify, we can get this formula. Well, this is the easy part. Let's move on to our second part, which is surface area of a cylinder. Well, basically a cylinder has a total of 3 surfaces, which is the circle, the 2 circle, top and bottom, and a middle. The area of circle is pi r squared from the formula that we can get. Because there is a top and bottom, so we have to plus it to get the top and the bottom of the surface area of the top and the bottom, so it will become 2 pi r squared. So for the lateral area of the cylinder, when we open the cylinder into a rectangle, the formula will become 2 pi r h, because it got height. Of course, it got height. So the final formula would be 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, because of the height. So this is the example that I've found. You can calculate it. It's up to you to change the pi into a number or just stay with the symbol. It doesn't really matter anyway. So let's move on to our next common solid, which is surface area of a pyramid. Well, as you know, pyramid that have a square base have a total of 5 surfaces. To determine the shape of the surfaces, we will start with the pyramid from step 1 below here. If we cut along the lateral edges of the pyramid, we can see that the triangle will lay flat on the ground, will be looking like this. We'll have 1 square and 4 triangle. So right, clear. We can use the area formula for a rectangle and a triangle to determine the complete formula for the surface area of the pyramid. The square has an area that can calculate by multiplying its length times its width, since those dimensions are equal. The area is S times S equals to S squared, like this. So for the remaining surface, the area formula for a triangle, it's base times its height divided by 2. In the case of one of the triangle above, it will be S times L divided by 2. Since we have 4 square, it will be 4 times S times L divided by 2. So we can simplify it by cutting. 4 will become 2, so the final formula will be 2 times S times L. Will look like this, 2SL. So by looking at the example, we can see that we have to use the theorem of Pythagoras to calculate the length of the triangle. When we get the length of the triangle, example 5 meter, so to calculate the surface area is S squared plus 2SL. So we just sub in the number that have been given. We got the final answer here. So let's move on to our fourth surface area of a common solid, which is surface area of a cone. Well, a cone is made by rotating a triangle. The triangle has to be a right angle triangle, and it gets rotated around one of its 2 short sides. The side it rotates around is the axis of the cone. It's in the middle. So this is the formula for the surface area of a cone. Pi times the radius times in the bracket radius plus slant height or slant length, which is made up of surface area of base equals to pi times r squared, and surface area of side, which is pi times r times squared times s, or surface area of side, which is pi times r times square root of r squared plus h squared. Well, this is the easiest example I guess I can find in the internet. Well, you guys just substitute in this. I've given the height, which is 7, and the radius, which is 2. Just substitute it in. This r is 2 squared. You got 4 pi. It's up to you to convert this into a number, this pi into a number. So if you convert it, you must time it by 4. And then should find the surface area of the side, which is pi times r times square root of r squared plus h squared. And that's it for the surface area of a cone. So moving on to our last part of this topic, which is surface area of a sphere. Well, a sphere is basically a perfectly round geometrical object in three-dimensional space that is the surface of a completely round ball. Well, for this surface area of a sphere is easy because you only have to substitute the r only. So the formula given is 4 pi r squared. And from the example I've attached to the picture, given that r is 3 feet, so you have to sub in the r into 3, so it will become 4 times pi times 3 feet squared, and it will become 4 times pi times 9, because the 3 have to square root it squared. Squared, so it will become 9. So after 4 times 9, you got 36 pi feet square in terms of pi, or you can change it into a number. So 36 will times 3.14159 feet squared. So we get 113.09724 feet squared. You can round it up to the nearest 10. Alright, that's all for me. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to explain. Well, I'm not a good with teaching. I've tried. Thank you for watching this video, and Assalamualaikum.
Hello everyone, it's me Ali over here and I am going to help you to understand volume. Alright, before we move on to all the calculation, we are going to understand what is volume. The definition itself, according to Avanta.com, volume is the measure of the amount of space inside a solid figure. And according to mathematics is fun, volume is the amount of three-dimensional space an object occupies. Basically, what they are trying to say, volume, object occupies space. So they have a volume. They have mass. They are in space. Okay, that is the definition. And volume are measured in unit cube. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1 unit cube. That is why in prism we have this cm cube. Okay, a quick tip for you guys. In every common shape, it is actually the base area times the height. What am I trying to say? Well, look at this. This is length times width. And as you know, length times width is actually S. S equals to area. This is true for every common shape. This is actually the base area. Alright. Base area times height. I already did the calculation. I just want you to understand it. You don't have to write. Yeah. So this is very straightforward. This is a prism. Prism is basically everything that looks like a box, and including a cube. Right. That is our first shape. So moving on to a pyramid. This is a pyramid. As you might notice, it actually have the same equation, the same formula for a cube, but it is divided by 3. Why is this so? Well, a pyramid, a prism, is actually made out of 6 exact pyramid. That is why we divide it by 3, because it has 2 heights. So if you substitute the real equation in a cube, it's actually length times width times 2 height over 3 over 6 actually, because 6 pyramid inside a cube, inside the prism. So if you simplify it, it's length times width times height over 3, right? Yeah, this is how to calculate a volume for a pyramid. Now, moving on to something a little bit different is the cylinder. So, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the area. This is the area for the circle, the base. It doesn't matter, top or bottom, one of it is the base. So this is the area of the circle times with the height, and you already have the volume for the cylinder. Direct, right? Very, very direct. But how about a cone? This is a cone. But you see, it has the same equation as a cylinder just now, but it's divided by 3. That's, this is the same case as the pyramid and the prism just now. One cylinder is equals to 3 cone. So you can try this any way you like, but you are going to get this. That is why to find the volume of a cone, you just have to divide a cylinder by 3. Alright, moving on to our final shape. Final shape, that is the sphere. The sphere. Look at this. A sphere. This is going to be a little bit complicated. Bear with me. A sphere is actually made up of infinite number of pyramids. You know how to calculate pyramid, right? Length times width height over 3. This is the volume of a pyramid over here. So you just to find the base length times width of all of this infinite number of pyramid, you have to use the calculation the surface area of a sphere, which is 4 pi r square. And as I said, this is the area. You have to times with the height. But what is the height? The height of the sphere is actually the height of the pyramid, which is the radius, and that is why we times with the r, and you get this equation over here. Why divide by 3? Because you have to substitute inside here. Inside the you have to consider pyramid and substitute inside the equation. That's why the equation is like this. So again, we already finished all the 5 common types of shape, and you already know, you should know how to calculate them. Thank you for listening. Ali out.